Welcome back, Drift fans, to The Wall. Wall, New Jersey for the fourth round of the Formula Drift Championship. We're only one battle deep into the Grade 8 as our next battle's on deck. Chris the Force Forsberg, 2009 champion, going against Tyler the Rock McCory.
Well, Tyler finally getting his vehicle to a place where he has some confidence with it, but will he be able to get through Chris Forsberg, Jared, who is really charging for a championship this year?
Well, charging literally and figuratively as he's out front. Tyler McCory, let's see if he can shake those gremlins off. 45.6 miles per hour as Chris Forsberg high and tight to the wall.
Looking at a little bit of separation right there on the bank and then closing the proximity as they come off into the transition. Chris Forsberg, nice job staying deep in that zone.
Chris Forsberg, nice job of filling the rear clipping zone. Tight on that front clip as he transitions into the final sweeper.
And coming into the last portion of the turn right here, Tyler McCory closing the door at the end, but Chris Forsberg looking pretty solid up front, Jared.
Well, from start to finish, it seemed like Chris Forsberg started out pulling away from it and just got bigger and bigger, the gap, as Chris Forsberg filled the rear clipping zones as Tyler McCory played it shallow. Tyler McCory is going to lead as Chris Forsberg gives chase.
Well, this is an opportunity right here for Tyler McCory to make up some ground on Chris Forsberg, close that gap and that deficit, but look at all that smoke on course right there from these Hankook drivers.
Oh, and look at this. Tyler McCory goes off course. Chris Forsberg tapping him. That was after the spin. Take a look at it again, Ryan.
Well, coming off the bank, you can see right here just a little bit too much of an aggressive flick back into the inner bank, and Tyler McCory zeroes out.
Chris Forsberg advances on to the Final Four.
We had a pretty good lead run, maybe a small advantage, and so I didn't want to give him too much gap going into the lower section of the course, well, actually the entire course. As we came into the lower section, though, he over-rotated. I tried to get hard on the brakes and slow down, but we made contact, and it broke our front end. I'm still sitting in the car because we're in the semis now, so we have very little time to get this car fixed to get back on track.
Well, there you have it. Who's going to be joining him in the Final Four? D-Mac, Darren McNamara coming to us from Ireland, and Robbie Bushido Blade Nishida. Again, his commuting from Japan to compete in Formula Drift. Here we go, Ryan.
And Robbie Nishida with some momentum with that third place in West Palm Beach, and Darren McNamara still in the chase for the championship.
Darren McNamara with only one headlight in as he initiates into the bank. Really high on the bank, almost dragging bumper as he comes off into the transition.
Great job on the bank right there. You could really tell the difference between both drivers. And now look at Robbie Nishida getting out of whack, straightens up, and D-Mac is off to the races.
D-Mac attack. He makes quick work of it as he's going to get the obvious advantage over Robbie Nishida.
So Robbie Nishida making a very big mistake as he transitions off the bank and then into the second outer zone. And you can see right here, Darren McNamara will have a huge advantage in this second run.
Here we go, Nishida leading as McNamara gives chase. Aggressive flick by Nishida, but not as high as McNamara is.
D-Mac giving a little bit of room right there as they come off the bank. Robbie Nishida taking out that inside clip for strike number one. And now Darren McNamara following right behind in the second outer zone.
McNamara very aggressive here, past that front clip, but Nishida really sloppy out front.
Really making a lot of mistakes right there is Robbie Nishida and giving a clear advantage to D-Mac in the second run.
Nishida just making too many little mistakes on this run and the definitive zero on the first run. You have to assume D-Mac will get the win. Let's take a look as we go to the judges. It's unanimous. McNamara gets the win. Moving on to our next battle, the Norwegian Hammer, Fredrik Aasbo versus Daigo Saito.
Well, definitely a contender for Battle of the Year going back to Long Beach between these two. It has always been fireworks when they meet on course.
Definitely mutual respect for these gentlemen as Fredrik Aasbo will lead. Daigo Saito giving chase. Great flick by Aasbo. Look at Daigo Saito, cannot be shaken.
Already so close on proximity is Daigo Saito. Nice job by Fredrik on that inside clip as Daigo Saito just a little bit off of it.
Super tight are both these gentlemen, not only to the clipping points, but to each other. Look at him filling that whole rear clipping zone, almost tapping it. Man, unbelievable run right now.
Well, you can see right there, Daigo Saito does make a mistake in the chase as he does not follow over that second inside clipping point right here as Fredrik Aasbo does. You can see Daigo Saito goes just a bit wide right there.
The whole bowl here at the Wall Stadium filled up with smoke as now Daigo the Ninja Saito will lead. Aasbo gives chase.
So great proximity from Daigo in the first one with a couple of errors. Now can Fredrik maintain good proximity and stay consistent?
Good transition off the wall into the flat section as Saito fills that rear clipping zone as Aasbo could be a little bit closer here.
Already from the bank, Fredrik Aasbo was playing catch-up, just not able to maintain the proximity as compared to Daigo in that first run. But Daigo did have those mistakes. How will the judges look at that?
This is a tough one to call, Ryan. You see the separation here, and at the latter part of the course right there, you see Osbo dive in, not as deep as Saito. Let's go to the judges. Daigo Saito gets the win.
This year I've been having really great battles with Frederick Osbo, and this time I was able to beat Frederick, so I'm feeling really good right now.
Vaughn Gittin Jr. monster trucks Frederick Osbo, and look at Frederick Osbo, Jared, getting right back in line and drifting right next to Vaughn Gittin Jr.
Vaughn Gittin Jr. was chasing Osbo, goes over the nose of him, now he's in the lead. Yes, we allow passing in particular portions of the track, but the pandemonium continues here at Road Atlanta. Unbelievable.
Well, there were wet conditions, so I can understand Frederick Osbo coming in slower, but as the rear driver, Vaughn Gittin Jr. will most likely be given fault here and will receive a 0, even though both drivers were still drifting. So really all Frederick Osbo has to do is get through this run without a 0.
Well, here's the second half of this battle as Vaughn Gittin Jr. initiates 77 miles per hour as Osbo's on the back bumper, dropping back a little bit there is Osbo.
Well, we do know that Vaughn Gittin Jr. was awarded fault. Oh, but look at Frederick Osbo. We talk about him not zeroing out, and right now he looks like he's getting a 0 as he straightens out up the hill.
He also does tap one of those cones atop the horseshoe, which is essentially off course, and shuts it down again.
Wow.
Unfortunate for Osbo, he just needed to run through the course. He goes off course, he straightens a few times, an ugly run for Osbo.
Well, both drivers have a 0, so this most definitely will be a one more time battle, but we're learning independently from Frederick Osbo's team that he broke third gear, and it was not due to the accident that caused a 0. So here we go, the one more time battle.
Let's get a clean full pull from these gentlemen as we have some better conditions. 90 miles per hour as Osbo leads in that first front clip.
So speed starting to pick up a little bit as Vaughn Gittin Jr. dives in right on the back bumper of Frederick Osbo. Now we're seeing some battles.
Some battered and bruised vehicles here, but they are navigating this course nicely as Vaughn Gittin Jr. is door to door with Osbo.
We're finally starting to see a lot of smoke on course, and now the visual aspect of this will come into play as Vaughn Gittin Jr. doing an excellent job in the chase position.
Yeah, Vaughn Gittin Jr. was doing a great chase job, but as was Osbo. Look at this lead run, putting his car in all the right places. Sans the front bumper. Now they're going to alternate the order. Vaughn Gittin Jr. will lead. Osbo gives chase.
Frederick Osbo has got to have an equal chase to Vaughn Gittin Jr. If he does not, he will probably lose this battle, and already Vaughn Gittin Jr. starting to pull away.
91 miles per hour on that entry as we enter the horseshoe. The Mustang hanging tough. Osbo right there on the back of that Ford Mustang.
It's all going to come down to this last succession of 2 turns right here. Can Frederick Osbo reel in Vaughn Gittin Jr.? No, he cannot. Vaughn Gittin Jr. crosses the finish line with a 2 to 3 car gap.
Well, quite a crazy way to start the Great 8 between Gittin and Osbo, but the deciding factor is Gittin pulling away from Osbo. That means Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win.
Yeah, that just got insane. On the first run, when I was chasing him, I saw him go to initiate, and I initiated. And next thing you know, like, he's still not fully initiated, and I'm coming at him. And next thing you know, I'm running over him, and somehow I stayed in drift and completed the course. Like, I've never run over a car before, and we came out the winner, moving on to semifinals. And I'm just pumped, man. This is what we come to do. Everybody's killing it, and let's do it.
Formula Drift is presented by GoPro, the world's most versatile camera. And sponsored by Hankook Tire. Be one with it. And by Nitto Tire, fueled by enthusiasts.
Explore.
Makes you feel alive.
Compete.
Makes you feel like you achieved something.
And travel the world.
The crowd just go crazy.
Showcasing the biggest action sports events across the globe. It's lights, camera, and action. Airtime on Edge Sports.
There's a huge, smooth, beautiful turn.
That's the best feeling ever. To get a barrel like that was awesome.
Oh boy.
Really good waves.
You can't really dream of anything better.
I'm really, really happy.
Fiji Pro Live on Edge Sport. Passion.
When you're up there, you